Hi, I'm Paulette Bell. I'm a sewing educator and I am a commercial embroiderer. And I've found over the years that several of us come to sewing in many different ways. I chose a different path. I chose embroidery for commercial purposes. So today we're going to talk about embroidering on caps, and that's my favorite thing to do. I like doing caps, not everybody does, and they're always a popular item amongst, men and women and children. So today, the hats that we have for display here are hats that are, one, unstructured and structured. And you're going to find that all these hats have different heights as well. Some of them are low profile, some of them are high profile, but they all are very easy to embroider. And with the type of machine that we have today, it is a 10-needle machine, and it does do caps. I know many people have done caps on flatbed machines, but then you have to flatten out the cap, and it sort of destroys the visuals on the cap. But in this particular machine, with the special attachments, we are able to stitch in a circular motion because that's what it's actually designed to do. And if you have a flatbed machine, you can stitch those hats on there, but it just means that you're going to be flattening out the cap is what you're going to be doing. So on this one, it actually stitches it in a circular motion, and it stitches it at about 600 stitches a minute. So it may be a little bit slower on a home sewing machine, but we all get to the place where, with a business, I have to be able to do it a little bit faster. So I have this machine instead. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about stitching on or embroidering on the cap today. I have the machine pre-programmed, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit about framing the cap is what we call it, or hooping the cap. Now this particular cap is a low-profile structured cap, and this is the mounting station that's right here mounted on the table. In my shop at home, I have it mounted on a table on purpose when I am framing the caps because I have lots of caps stacked to the side, and I can take the previous cap off and put it aside and put the new one on. So I have a wider surface to actually do all of my embroidery. Now when I put it in the cap frame, what I have to do is, I have the cap frame on the mounting station here. I've got to clip it in place right down here on the side. This rotates so that I can actually pull the cap down to get it a little tighter so it stays in a little bit better. There we go. And I've also got a second place over here, which is exactly like the other side, so I clip that in. Now the last thing I have to do is clip the bill down so it doesn't catch on the back of the machine. And there we go, we're all set. Then I take this off the station here and transport it to the machine. I'm going to be putting it on right there, like that, and snapping it in place. So it's in place, ready to stitch. Okay. The design that I have chosen is the It's So Easy design. It's right down here, this one, and I believe it's on this one right here as well. I've pre-programmed it with all of the color sequences set up. All I had to do was assign the first two colors to the same needle, which is the gray for the needle itself, and then also for the background stitch, or It's So Easy, and that's going to be stitching on needle number 10. It's all set. All I have to do is actually hit the lock and run. But I want to check and make sure that that's at the lowest point in my field, my sewing field, so let me just check that for a second here. And it is, so I can go back, hit the lock button, and hit start, and it would start sewing. Oh, it's upside down on the screen. I forgot to mention that. It's upside down because my cap is truly upside down, okay? So it actually knows to rotate the design when I tell it to start stitching, okay? What it's going to be doing right here is it's stitching the top part of the needle, and then it skips down to the bottom. A digitizer digitized this design for us, and they leave a gap in between because that's where the lettering is going to go. So it will just fit right in there, okay? And it does stitch at 600 stitches a minute, so it's actually going to be pretty quick. This design has a total of about almost 2,000 stitches, about 1,768. So it's a pretty quick stitch out. are almost finished here. It's starting the last letter of It's So Easy, which is the Y. There we go.